Hi Bonnie, hi everyone. I am Nicole, Nikki, or Nick, whichever you prefer, and I am the antisocial auntie. And today I have both knit and crochet, and today we're going to start with this guy. So this is my oldest knit whip, and in my first video I showed you this poor guy. He is the Snowman, and I believe he was part of a kit that was made for the 35th anniversary of the children's book, The Snowman. And Mary Maxim had partnered with Serdar Yarns, and Serdar made the pattern as well as a snowflake yarn. This is no longer available, but that's fine. It's not easy to work with. I don't recommend it. It's pretty though. It looks like snow. So I had bought this kit. It was made in 2009 through Mary Maxim. I bought the kit in 2010 probably, and then because this yarn does not frog well and I made a mistake, just cut it, moved on, didn't think anything of that, ran out of yarn. I was almost done, so close, and couldn't find it anywhere. I moved out to Seattle in 2012, and sometime in that year, one of the ladies I had met, so, oh, I've seen that yarn at the quilt shop. Look at quilt shops apparently for the weird stuff. I don't know. It never dawned on me to do that. All of the yarn shops didn't have it. So anyway, the yarn that came in the kit for the green, I remember, was really rough and I didn't like it. So I just found something that was good on my hands, and I'm like, if I'm gonna do that, might as well change it to my favorite color. And this is my orange, the Snowman. And I'm classifying him as done because I don't know how to do embroidery eyes. I might just crochet some circles and put them on, but I want them to look a little bit better. So I need some practice with that since I've just started with the crochet. Oh, okay, it'll be a year probably. Soon it'll be a year when I started, but it's been haphazard, to say the least. We'll put it haphazard. So he is finished. And yeah, my longest whip is now done. So from 2010 to 2025, complete. Oh, here we go. The next thing I have, this was a knit along project, but I never do knit alongs. I always wait till the pattern is done. I have watched other people regret their decision to join some of them, and here we are. This one is the Festival of Stitches by Lisa Hannes. I believe that's how you say her last name, Hannes. And you use fingering weight yarn. I just have sock yarn, 2 of them from Stash, and then the silver I bought to coordinate with it. She does recommend getting 2 yarn or 3 yarns that are all solids. But that's boring. You know what I mean? I don't have solids in Stash. Okay, I do now, but yeah, only this year. And what she does is the beginning of this pattern, because it was a knit along. She does have where you can weigh your yarn, and she tells you the breakdown of the percentages of each stage, so you can kind of just go with however much yarn you have and make some pieces shorter, some stages shorter, others longer. This one, I did do more of the repeats than she did in her sample, just because I wanted to see how this yarn was going to come out. I've used this yarn, but it was in such short bursts that I've never seen it actually come out like this. I really like this yarn, and I don't think it's available anymore. So the issues I have with this is not with the pattern. The pattern is great, and I love that she has the percentages. You can go however long you want, and with every section you can just keep adding each section for whatever you want to do. But as a knit along, I would have been very upset, because what she does, what a lot of people do when they have these kind of patterns, she actually had this section go off, and then the next part, which is the mosaic knitting, which is the kind of the point of this project for me, was to learn mosaic knitting. And then the next week you just do the same exact thing on the other side. So half of the project is not a mystery. You know exactly what you're going to do. You just changed which yarn is dominant, and that's really disappointing. There was another one I saw that you do all these increases into this scarf, and then the last half of it is just decreasing the same exact pattern. How is that a mystery? So yeah, no, I don't do any of those. But the pattern itself is really well written, and you have a lot of flexibility with how much yarn you have. I did go too far with this, as far as I might run out of this yarn. I might. So I might end up with a 4th yarn at the end, or I might even just not do the last pieces, because the mosaic yarn or knitting is next. So we'll just see how long this ends up. So that is what I am working on for my knitting as of now. We'll move on to crochet. My finished object for crochet is an alligator pie. So this little guy, oh, my nails are horrible. Anyway, is part of the crochet along that Cassandra at Craftably Ever After is doing. And she is doing the Amigurumi World Tour 2024, it's still going on, where she sent 2 copies of the Whimsical Stitches by Lauren Espy, and she sent them out into the world. And well, the one that went around the United States has gone back. So what, you know, we traveled to each person, we each picked a pattern. I did the turtles because I needed to do Ninja Turtles anyway. I mean, why not, right? If you can nerd it up, do it. That's what I say. So she also had a mini challenge where you could take any of the patterns in there and turn out holiday or seasonal theme. So I already made a ghost duck, and then we had the alligator pie. I thought it was funny, and I didn't realize how many people, well, nobody here had heard of doing a pudding pie as an alligator pie, just with a little decoration. Maybe they don't eat pudding pie out here. I don't know. Or maybe it was just something that some of us in our 20s thought up one night when we were hungry. I have no idea. I honestly don't remember, but I've been making pudding pie, alligator pie, a couple decades now, and yeah, nobody out here has heard of it. I do not recommend using gel coloring. Yeah, here's a picture of that. Somehow I didn't have any chocolate chips. I still had the cream cheese flavored chips for the teeth, but I didn't have any, and I was like, you know, I'm not going to the store. I got this gel coloring, put it on there. That stuff grows and slides. That, do not recommend. It worked, but not my best work. I gotta tell you, tasted good, but not my best work. So that is more information, Nicole. Okay, this was done in Rainbow Cotton 8/8, and I was using a 3.5 millimeter, yes, 3.5 millimeter hook, and the yarn is dark green and light brown. No idea what size of the eyes, because it's in this huge pack of different sizes. No idea. It's just the size that looked like an alligator. Okay, and again, that was from Whimsical Stitches by Lauren Espy and Alligator Pie. Oh, you're gonna have a hard edit on that one. So the last project I have is the Snuggle Slug by StitchSisterCo. Last video I showed you the jumbo size, but now I have made 3 of the pockets. I've adjusted this pattern a little bit. I'll show you this. There we go. And this one I did by the actual row count. The other one I did by inches. This one I did by inches. This one I just got carried away. I was hanging out with my family. We were having a craft day. I lost track of what I was doing. So the thing is with these, if they're wonky, those are the ones my friends want more than the ones that, you know. So yeah, make them wonky. Who cares? You're right. These would be great for market as far as how fast they go. I don't know if your friends are as weird as mine and would buy. I have a lot of people wanting to buy these. I don't do markets. I don't even know what I would charge for something like this. So I'm more of a giveaway kind of person. Anyway, these are Snuggle Slug, Pocket Slugs, StitchSisterCo, 8mm hooks, and then the 7mm for the top. The eye stalks on this side are 4 stitches in the round. I know that's rough. The second eye stalk is annoying. Seriously. But I only had like 3 rows to do that. The pattern itself has using Sherpa yarn and then switching to blanket yarn. Since I did the whole thing in the same yarn, I don't do increases as the yarn changes and then decrease back. I just, you know, use the same stitch count. And I did have to add 2 rounds to make the inches that she does. I love that. She has the rows, but she also has the inches. So you can do whatever yarn you're using to make it the same size. I also add to one of the stalks, I add some rows because that's funny to me. They need to be wonky. I mean, slugs are wonky. And then I started adding, because I accidentally, chatting, added extra in the actual eyeball itself. So I've been doing that as well. This one, okay, so I'm trying to not put safety eyes in the small ones, and I also wanted a shiny black yarn, and everything I found had wool in it, because wool blends with shiny, you have that sheen, and everything else had sparkle, which wasn't quite what I was looking for. So Bonnie from Strawberry Bonnie Crochet just recently had a video where she had a whole bunch of birds that she made her amigurumi of. She does a lot of acrylic, mostly acrylic, actually, for her amigurumi. And so I just sent a comment. It's like, hey, what's the shiniest yarn that you have for black? Because I, explained what I was doing. She went to Michael's. That sweetheart actually went to Michael's to look and find shiny black yarn. And so she recommended, it's Loops and Threads, and it's, I can't remember. I ordered it. It's coming on Wednesday, apparently, supposedly. Who knows? Whenever Michael's sends something, it's usually a little bit later. But yeah, because the nearest one that had it in store was like 2.5 hours away from me. I wasn't going to drive that far for something that might not work. It'll probably work. Now I'm just waffling. Sorry about that. So that yarn is coming. Bonnie's awesome. Strawberry Bonnie Crochet. And these are the pocket slugs. They are perfect to squeeze for stress, chunk at people, that kind of thing. I grew up with brothers. You throw things at everybody. And here we go. And that is it for this month. Allergies are just as bad as before. I did break down and get an air conditioner. I have been wanting one for 7 years now. I finally did that, so things will be more comfortable, which means I should be knitting and crocheting a little bit more for summer compared to last year's. So we should have more content, hopefully. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I hope you have a wonderful day and evening and weekend and all of the things. And just remember, Aunt Nicki loves you, even though you're far away. So sleep sweet, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.